Hi, I'm Molly with the Coastal Watershed Council, and welcome to our activity guide, What Makes the San Lorenzo River Healthy? In this activity, you will participate in a virtual tour of the San Lorenzo River, identify what makes the river healthy and unhealthy, and then help out the river by choosing to do one of two activities. Our guiding question is what makes the San Lorenzo River healthy? Okay, let's take a trip back in time. This is a historical photo of the San Lorenzo River. Looks a little bit different, doesn't it, from today? Things have changed over time. There seems to be less trees nowadays, right? Well, now there's a reason for that. Way back in 1955, there was a flood that flooded downtown Santa Cruz, and a lot of buildings got destroyed. And people decided that we needed to stop floods from happening. And one of the ways to do that was to create a barrier between downtown Santa Cruz and the San Lorenzo River. So people removed the trees, removed the plants that were along the river, and constructed a barrier along the river that would stop the water from rising up so high. And because of that, the river is not as healthy as it was before. Great. So now we have a little bit of history of the San Lorenzo River. Now let's go on a virtual tour to visit the river. Okay everyone, so we're here in downtown Santa Cruz and we're standing on a bridge looking down at the San Lorenzo River. Now, 122 bird species rely upon this river. Fish like steelhead trout rely upon this river. And little bugs called benthic nectar invertebrates that live inside the water depend upon the San Lorenzo River. So let's take a look around. What do you notice about the river that makes it healthy? Okay, let's share. Write or tell someone what you noticed that makes the river healthy. Okay, now let's talk to an expert. Here's Whitney. She's a river scientist.
Part of having a healthy river ecosystem involves having a healthy stream bank system. So what we want to see when we have a healthy riverbank is we want lots of natural vegetation. We want big trees like this arroyo willow. We also want tule and different kinds of filter plants that help filter pollution and sediment as it comes down the riverbank.
Let's pause for a second. What did we learn from Whitney? We learned that plants and trees along the banks of the river create habitat and help filter out pollution. When it rains a lot here during the winter, we might get floods. Now, that water is great. We want that water. But the thing is, water has the power to erode away our stream banks. Observe. What do you notice about the stream bank? Awesome. So now let's share. Write down or tell someone, what did you notice? I noticed how the stream bank, the soil had fallen into the river. So that's erosion. Erosion is the movement of sediment, sand or soil, from one place to another. So why does erosion matter? Which river looks healthier? This one? Or this one? So you probably said the first one, right? The water looks clearer. So let's think. Why is clear water better for the plants and animals? So one reason why clear water is important is that it makes it easier for steelhead trout and other wildlife living in the river to see their prey and to see their predators. Now, knowing that erosion should be stopped and that clear water is important, let's think, what might stop erosion from happening? Go ahead and share with someone else or write down your ideas. One of the best things we can do to stop erosion is to plant native plants. Their roots help hold the soil together and stop the soil from moving into the river. Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a mind break. Everyone stand up and stretch or shake it out. Here we go. Learned about what makes the San Lorenzo River healthy and what might be some of the things that make the river unhealthy when we were on our virtual tour. So now we just saw an illustration and we're going to take a close look at it to see what are some of the things that make the river healthy and then unhealthy. And it's your choice. You can either observe just watching the video and point to things that you see, or if you have a printer, you can print out the activity PDF and circle what you find. It's your choice. All right, now you're going to spend a few minutes observing the above illustration of the San Lorenzo River in downtown Santa Cruz. Circle or point to signs of a healthy river and signs of an unhealthy river. You'll see signs that you can be on the lookout for below. For example, for a healthy river, fish or a stable stream bank, and for an unhealthy river, looking out for trash and car oil. So now, my friends, go ahead and pause the video, spend a few minutes looking at it, and then come on back when you're ready to take a look at the answers. Welcome back. Check out the answers. Here, what do you notice differently now that you're looking at the answers? heads up, we're going to move on. If you need more time looking at the answers, go ahead and pause the video. Now that we've learned about what makes a river healthy and unhealthy, we can make a difference. We all can make a difference because all of our actions matter. Your next step is to choose one of the following activities to help protect the San Lorenzo River. Choice number 1 is to draw or paint a picture of a healthy river. And your second option is to explore your neighborhood to find sources of pollution. Did you choose choice 1 to draw or paint a picture of a healthy river? Here's your instructions. Step 1. Either by visiting the San Lorenzo River or rewatching the virtual tour, draw a picture of what makes the San Lorenzo River healthy. Make sure to label the picture with signs of a healthy river. You can use the examples from the illustration on the previous slides. And then write down why nature or the San Lorenzo River is important to you and why we should help to keep it healthy. And finally, take a picture of your drawing and share with your class. Is there any pollution in your neighborhood? Let's find out. You're going to survey your neighborhood by walking around and counting the times you see each of the below sources of pollution. And you're going to rate the pollution level. So say for example, you're walking around and you see some dog poop or some pet waste on the ground. And in fact, there are 3 different pieces of the dog poop that dog owners or dog parents didn't pick up. So you're going to write down the number 3 under count. And then you see how there's the green, the orange, and the red boxes. That's going to be for a pollution level rating. Now, if we saw 0 poops, that's awesome. That's low or no pollution. If we saw 1 to 4 poops, that would be medium pollution levels. And if we saw 5 or more poops, that would obviously be a high pollution level. So we counted 3. Where would we put that? That's right, it would be medium because we saw 1 to 4 poops. So we're going to find Sam on his walk in his neighborhood, and he's going to be modeling what he notices as part of his walk.
So I'm working on the neighborhood pollution prevention worksheet, and I'm just walking around my neighborhood looking to see if I find signs of piles of leaves or oil leaks. And in fact, I do see some really interesting dark color on the ground that doesn't look like it's natural. I'm guessing it's from a car that was parked here for a while that was leaking oil. So I see these dark kind of spots of the asphalt. So I'm gonna go ahead and find the oil leak. And so far, I'm gonna write down that I see kind of 1 spot of oil leak, and I'll continue on my walk.
Thanks, Sam. Now it's your turn. So ask permission if you can go outside, walk around your neighborhood, or then maybe someone in your family will join you. And you're going to be looking for different sources of pollution. Check out that list that you can find on a PDF, or here it is so you can take a look at it. And then pause the video. Do that activity and then come on back when you're done. We'll continue the conversation. Welcome back. So by now, you have rated the pollution levels for what you saw in your neighborhood. And you're going to choose one of the sources of pollution that either rated at a medium or high level to create a poster educating your neighborhood about the need to stop pollution. And then share that with your class. So if you haven't already, now's the time for you to choose one of the 2 activities to draw a poster of a healthy river or to survey the pollution levels in your neighborhood and draw a poster educating people about that source of pollution. That's it for today. Remember, we all can make a difference. Your actions matter. You can help protect the San Lorenzo River and help keep it healthy. It was so much fun to explore with you today. You can find other activities at the Coastal Watershed Council website at coastal-watershed.org. Thanks everyone, have a great day.